Most people quit. But perhaps more depressing than that is when they quit, because more often than not, people quit right before they're about to have their breakthrough. Everyone knows the classic story of Edison. He failed 1,000 times before he finally had his breakthrough. Maybe it doesn't have to be 1,000 times. Maybe it's just 40 times. 40 times. Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale were told no 40 times by every major studio in Hollywood when it came to their script Back to the Future. The same could be said for Jordan Peele, who was told no year after year when it came to his script Get Out. It's too funny or it's too scary, but he kept pushing forward. You see, when it comes to being a creative entrepreneur, more often than not, the key to not failing is to not give up. I can hear you from the other side of the screen right now. You're probably upset. Maybe you're throwing your phone down or you're wanting to turn the TV off. I can hear you. I get that this is something that can be upsetting to hear, because when you're in that moment, when you're right there before the breakthrough, it almost feels impossible. It almost feels like it's never going to turn around. But I promise you, if you keep going, you will make it. I say this all the time around my office. When the dust settles, other people give up, we will be the ones who remain. The competition falls off, because people will quit, but you don't have to be one of those that quit. Are you strong enough? One of my favorite quotes is from a Chris Nolan film. It's a classic, The Dark Knight. Harvey Dent, he says, "The night is darkest just before the dawn." And I promise you, the dawn is coming. I promise you that the dawn is coming. But are you strong enough to keep going? But how do you keep going? How do you keep going forward when you feel like you want to give up? One of my all-time favorite Ron Howard films is Cinderella Man. It stars Russell Crowe and Paul Giamatti, and they are at their absolute best. Russell Crowe portrays boxer James Braddock, and Paul Giamatti plays his manager, Joe Gould. What's fascinating to me about this movie is how James Braddock and Joe Gould both uniquely approach being broke. When it comes to being down and out, James Braddock, he approaches it with the highest level of humility. He doesn't want to be a person that has to ask another person for money. But when it came time and he had no other possibility, he did it. And Joe Gould, he sold every single thing from inside his house while attempting to maintain the outer appearance to everyone around him that he was still wealthy. The best approach is the way of James Braddock, approaching it with humility. Now, I've never been so down on my luck that I had to ask for money, but I have certainly been so down on my luck that I've had to ask for opportunity. If you're going to be a creative entrepreneur, you need to be vocal about what you do. Plant seeds, and eventually they will grow, and eventually you will have that breakthrough. Today, I thought I would share a little bit of scripture with you that I feel like is so key to being a creative entrepreneur, or being any entrepreneur in general. This is from Galatians 6. Pay careful attention to your own work, for then you will get the satisfaction of a job well done, and you won't need to compare yourself to anyone, for we are each responsible for our own conduct. This resonates so much as a creative entrepreneur. Comparison is the thief of joy. I can get down on myself so many times when I look at any accomplishment that another person in my industry may be having. But I remind myself of this. I remind myself of all the amazing things that we are doing here at my company. And I urge you to remind yourself daily of all the great accomplishments that you've had. You may be having a down month right now, but remind yourself of the accomplishments that you've had in this season or in this year, because the breakthrough will come. Later on in the passage, it says, "Do not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time you will reap a harvest." I remind myself of this every single day. I firmly believe that when we do good work, work will come. And I hope that this video reminds you of the same.